Good morning, YPC. Welcome to the week 2 wrap up. We're gonna start with with Jimmy. I only score 180 points. That's all he does. So he had the highest score this week, 180.5 to 142.6, with the margin of victory of 37.9, which was the highest this week. Nice job, Jimmy. Congrats on the win. Put you in the win column. That tough loss last week. That was the tough one, scoring that many points. Aaron Rodgers jumped out the page at me, 52.7. Julio Jones with 47.2. And the Pats D with 21. My goodness. Nice. Frank Gore, I think he's an old man. That's just my opinion. I think he's done. It's your team, obviously. Ryan Matthews ain't any better looking at your bench. So, I don't know. Bell, I probably would have maybe start Bell, but you're scoring 180 points. Shit. You know what I mean? So, for B, it's shitty. Michael Vick went crazy. And then Gio on the bench. He didn't do anything last week. I get it. I probably wouldn't have started him either. But you scored 142 points. 142.6. You guys are both 1-1. And we'll talk about matchups coming up after we finish this segment of our show. So congrats, Jimmy, on the win and the high score of the week. We'll put that on the board so you can follow, because there is an award for that this year for the most weeks with the high score. All right, we're going to move on to the next game. Next game is Theo Rubin versus Nick. And the score on that one, the margin of victory there was 19.7. Let's see if I can get my laptop going over here. 147.5 Nick over 147.5 over 127.8. Like I said, 19.7. With Nick, you're 46.3 and 32.1 from your receivers is sweet. And then you got Victor Cruz. So you have three of the top wide receivers in the National Football League right now on your roster, which is a beast. So Steelers defense, you got to get an answer there. They don't look, that team doesn't look very good. So you got the Colts D on your bench. So you guys both moved to 1-1. Which is nice to get in the win column for you, Nick. Nice job. 40. There's three receivers. That's the thing that kind of jumped out of the page at me. These three receivers that are scoring huge points. So that's nice little something to build on for next week. Next game, we're gonna move to. Let's see here. We'll go to the March of Dimes game this week, which was the lowest scoring game, 108.3 to 116.9. Which was actually the closest game, though, too. 8.6. Denny, you got the win, but you got a bunch of people in the hospital. You got Trent, not Trent, that's Rudy. You have Steven Jackson, Reggie Bush, and Eddie Lacy. I don't know. Last I heard, Eddie Lacy might be out for this week, minimum. And then Bush, I don't know. He got hurt twice during the game. So that's kind of a drag. You're going to be hurting in that position, in the running back position, because you got Thomas on the bench, I don't know. But you got some wide receivers. You got some trade bait. So you got the win. You're in the win column there. You both are at 1-1. The thing that concerns me looking at you guys is that, by looking at the standings, if you're not in the 300s right now, you can get there, but if you're not putting up consistent points, it's going to be tough to get in that playoff race. It's early, second week, I understand. But I'm just kind of looking into the future. So the points concern me if I was you guys. That's looking from the commissioner's standpoint. Just look at the points being put up by these teams. And then Rude, you're going to have that conundrum, man. You got Bradford, you got Tannehill, you have Alex Smith. You got, I think you even have McNair on your bench. I don't know. I'm wondering if you got the memo that we're only a one quarterback league, not two quarterback league. So that's tough, dude, because you're going to be juggling things, trying to figure out who you're going to go with. And bottom line is just you got to get a gut or go to the tarot card reader. Tarot card reader on the Boulevard. I heard she's pretty good. She might be able to give you some advice. But Maurice Jones-Drew being hurt, that's going to hurt you, obviously. So, and your back's on your bench. It's tough going for you guys. But, it's week 2. We're getting ready to start week 3. So there's a lot more football to be played. Wish you guys the best, and congrats on the win. Next game we're going to do would be Sheepy And let's see if I can find it here. We'll go to Took and Sheep, um, the Butt Brothers. Took 148 to 133.3. Congratulations, Sheep, on the baby, too. Butt Brothers and congratulations on the baby, all in the same sentence. The average margin of victory here was 14.7. For Took, the thing that jumps out for me, Tookie, is Jimmy G. Jimmy G went crazy with 45.9 points. The closest tight end next to that point-wise was Bennett with, I think, 25. So there's a 20-point discrepancy there. So you take that 20 points away, you lose the game. So it's close. It was a very close game, but you had him go off. I don't see anybody else on there, Tookie, that's jumping out at me. I mean, Luck was decent, and Spiller had a nice game. But Sheepy, you had nice production from your backs. You have a nice backfield, Sheep. Yeah, I mean, Roddy White is a question there on your roster, though. He's still, his high ankle sprain, kind of a decoy on passing routes. Julio Jones lit it up. Obviously not going to be going, so might be time for a little managerial switch there at the wide receiver position. It's your call, obviously, but he doesn't look like he's producing, but your backs are sweet. They're doing very nice. So congrats to Took on the win. Put you guys, Sheepy, Took's at 2-0. Nice shot. And Sheepy's at 0-2. But like I said with the points, I mean, I look over there at that, and you see Took with 263.5 and Bus almost 100 points more in second place. So it's going to be tight in that division. I think that division, the NFC, is going to be the division where possibly the $50 donation is going to come from. Could be, looks like it, but it's still a long ways to go. Just kind of looking at the points being put on the board there. All right, the next game we're going to do is going to be Lions Den and One Good Fella. The thing that question me here, I'm not trying to manage anybody's team, Dad, but you put two running backs, RB1, RB2 in the same backfield. That's kind of questionable, and you have Jacobs, so you got the trifecta there. But I don't know. I mean, who knows? Scott looked actually pretty decent. I have Wilson in one of my other leagues, and I don't think he's gonna do anything. But Calvin Johnson went crazy with 41.6 points, which was nice. It kept you in there. The thing with this game, Lions Den, is that Ruben, everybody on his bench scored everybody on his roster scored 12 points. So it's a nice, consistent production, 165 points. Ruben, you got two tight ends that are blowing it up. I mean, you got Greg Olsen and you have Bennett on the bench, so you got some nice trade bait at tight end or a possible flex with your tight end. So, sky's the limit, Ruben. Sky's the limit. The margin of victory here was 31.9 points, which was the second largest margin of victory this week. Congratulations, Ruben. It keeps you at 2-0. And Lions Den at 0-2. There's 3 0-2 teams in the NFC. We got Sheepy, we got E Street Raiders, and then we have Lions Den. So that's going to be they're going to kick and scratch and bite and claw their way in that division. It's going to be a tough go over there. And the other division, everyone has a win. The last game of the week is going to be me versus Theo Benj. Benj, I just want to thank you for being a Raider fan and starting Terrell Pryor. I really appreciate that. You got some nice. I don't know where you drafted Cam Newton or Robert Griffin III. But I'm assuming it was a 1 or 2 pick, and you probably got Pryor in the 10th round, so maybe you were going on a gut. The other thing I like you doing is you're starting another old Raider, Howard Bay, which was nice because if you started, there's a combination there where you might have been able to get in the mix there with the win with 35 from Griffin and then with Santana Moss. So coulda, shoulda, woulda. The margin of victory there was 23.4. Mendenhall had nice production for you, and actually Lynch scared me late in the game there because he was running like a madman. Wallace is one of those people, to me, he's kind of all or none, but he was all this week. 29.5 points. Last week, what did he get you? 2.5. So there we go. But hey, he's starting to get in the click over there. Anybody out there? I have some quarterbacks. Anybody need a quarterback? Uncle Ruben, I sent you a trade proposal. I don't know, you're chewing on it. I have Rivers and Matt Ryan that are both doing very well. So anybody looking for a quarterback, I'm looking for a flex is what I'm looking for. So just throwing it out there. I hate to mix, this weekly wrap up with my personal business, but I'm just throwing it out there so everybody knows. Week 2, the high scores of the week. Moving on to the next segment, we're going to call it the high scores in week 2. High scores in week 2 were Vic at the quarterback position with 55.5, Lynch running back 34.5, and then we have 3 receivers here that needed to be mentioned. We got Julio Jones at 47.2. D-Jax with 46.3 with the Eagles. And then we have Megatron at 41.6. And then the only tight end that we need to, well, Bennett did pretty decent. He got a lot of publicity this week for making that catch and game-winning catch. But Jimmy G with 45.9, man, he tore it up. This week we have, there's some interesting matchups over here. I see, let's see real quick. I know that we have some undefeated people going against each other. Ruben versus Took is the key marquee matchup. It's going to be interesting to see who can stay undefeated there. And it's always nice. When someone's going undefeated, everybody wants them to lose. I know I do. And then I'm playing Rudy. I'm trying to get some revenge. I think, Rudy, you've probably beat me. I don't want to count. I'm thinking 4 years in a row, maybe even longer. I don't know. I don't think it's as long as Uncle Benji's active streak that you have with him. But it's gonna be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. We have Battle of the Unbeatens with Sheepy and Lions. Then somebody's gonna get out of the cellar there, and then E Street Raiders versus the Legend, the self-proclaimed Legend. So, you know what? Thursday night game is KC at the Eagles. It's gonna be a good game. You guys make sure you get your lineup set, and good luck, man. Having fun. Enjoy. Peace.